Oh, hi there. It's Lance here once again, down in Rotorua for the giant 2W Gravity Enduro. Well, it's not actually race day today, but it's coming up soon, hopefully, if COVID lets us go ahead. And I have entered in the e-bike category this year, and they have, for the first time, they're doing a long stage e-bike category. And I guess the question is, can I get around the whole course on one battery? So I've dug up some old maps. I found one that looks kind of cool, so I think we'll do this today. And I guess the plan is to see if we can get around the whole course on one battery. So anyway, come join me. Okay, so into climb number 1. Now this is heading up to K2. I've got the bike in eco. Now I normally never ride the bike in eco unless I absolutely have to, but I'm not convinced I can do a whole race on full power. So I'm going to do the first couple of climbs in eco and see how that goes. Alright, we're rolling into K2. This is listed as a black track or a grade 5. Must admit, if you've watched some of my videos recently, I'm out at Riverhead. I was slipping and sliding around in the mud, up to the axles in water. The conditions today in Rotorua were absolutely immense. This is an amazing place to ride, even in winter. You can see just how great the tracks are. It's interesting actually, these tracks. I remember riding this track in amongst the trees. They felled all the trees and it had a very different feel to it. But certainly riding today, I certainly realised that I'm back in the trees again. They've grown back up again. It's surprisingly how many cycles of trees you actually live through. This is quite a commonly used track in the 2Ws, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't in one of the ones this season. Alright, so that was stage 1, K2 done. Certainly wasn't race pace. Well, I stopped to film a couple of bits on the way down, so you can see that. Anyway, on to Tio Tower, Billy T into Dammit Janet. That's a long stage. Okay, so we're into the biggest climb of the day, all the way up to Tio Tower. Rode most of it in eco, did use a bit more power on some of the steeper bits. Now my bike is set up on the eco is 35% support and 35% peak power. The trail mode is 55% up to 100% power, and boost, what would you think boost is? It's actually 50-50. So it gives me more power than eco, but still is conserving the battery a little bit. Alright, well that's the second climb of the day done. I had it on eco for most of it, but upped it slightly for a little bit of the steeper stuff. How much battery have I got left? This is one of my complaints. Have you guys got glasses on? Because I can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've actually used 20%, which is probably not too bad, because effectively once we get to the bottom, we'll have done a third of the course. So on target. Hopefully I don't have to use eco for every climb, because that's going to be hard going. Anyway, this one's to Tio Tower into Billy T into Dammit Janet. Okay, we're into Tio Tower. This is one of the longer stages of the day. To Tio Tower into Billy T into Dammit Janet. Down is 3.2 kilometers on my map and 265 meters of descending. This course, if you're interested, was the 2016 15th of October course. I used to keep a lot of the maps when they gave you out maps, and sometimes if I'm training I'll recreate a course. Actually, as a matter of interest, the total vertical in this map was 1,235 meters, and I think they had 14 kilometers worth of racing and obviously transition as well. Interestingly enough, Tio Tower is a grade 3 and Billy T is a grade 4, and yet I often think Tio Tower is a more difficult track. We're now on to Dammit Janet, which is again a grade 4. This is quite a cool track, changed a bit over the years. There is a bit of a climb in the middle that can sap your legs, although, as I say, one great thing about now racing e-bikes is the climbs don't kill you like the way they used to. Also, this drop on the road, I noticed they've improved it at the end, so it's not quite as sketchy as it used to be. Alright, we'll call that the end of stage 2. That's a long one. Got the old hand pump, my flabby arms. I think I need to do some upper body workouts. But anyway, on to the next one. Alright, that's 3 climbs done, 60% of the battery left, so we're still looking pretty good for that. This stage is the downhill track into Tukanohi, I believe, so quite a long one. Alright, we'll give this one a go. caution. What does that mean? Means be cautious, I guess. Alright, this is into the downhill track. I think we're supposed to be doing the mushroom line, but to be honest, unless it's taped, I always seem to get lost. I don't think this drop is supposed to be on the mushroom line. Decided to give it a go anyway. It wasn't too bad. And then from the downhill track we cut into Tukanohi, which is a grade 4. The downhill track's a grade 5 and then into a grade 4. Super excited to be racing this year on the e-bike. I did it for one race last year, but was a bit disappointed you could only do the 4 stages. It meant that you missed out on the 2 best stages, if you like. So it's going to be great to be able to race 6 stages. It's just a matter of whether the bike can get round on one battery. The Levo has a 700 watt hour battery. I'll tell you how much I use and you can do the calculations on whether you think you could do it on a 500 watt hour battery. Alright, one more stage ticked off, stage 3. We're going to go up to the next one, which I think is supposed to be hot cross buns into Tamiki, but I may swap that out and do all of Tamiki because I did hot cross buns yesterday and Tamiki's a bit more fun. Alright, heading up a relatively new track called Apu Moana. A beautiful track, this lovely gradient, great way to get back up the hill. Done away with this eco nonsense. I know I'm going to make it round, I'm pretty confident, so I'm using my trail mode, which gives me up to 100% of power. Alright, so by my calculation we must be on to stage number 4. Got 5 bars left, so that's pretty good. So I think we should make it round. Anyway, we'll have the sandwich and we'll keep going. Bit of a drop here. Ooh, quite a big drop. Okay, I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but I do actually manage to do the whole course. Now you may be wondering how long that took me to do. Well, actually took me 4 hours. Now you may think, well, 4 hours isn't particularly quick, but take into effect that on every track like here, I stopped and set up the cameras and did some filming. So if you 10 minutes per track was easily took me an extra hour, so I could easily have done it in under 3 hours. Try the high line, shall we? Oh, a bit sketchy. Oh, real sketchy. Need to do that faster. Now, admittedly, sometimes you will get held up on race day, having to queue to start different stages, but of course you're not going to be held up in queues while you're sitting on trying to get up on a shuttle. Alright, 4 stages down. We did, must admit, change the course slightly into Tamiki instead of hot cross into Tamiki, but I love Tamiki, it's a great fun track. So now I think we're going to go up the hill and do Box of Birds. I think in the map it says As You Do, but that was an old map, and now it's called Box of Birds. So we'll do that next. Oh, I just had to get the map out again. Doesn't seem that long ago that I could just look, read the map, read the courses, I'd do the whole race and I wouldn't even take the map with me. Now I can never remember things, so I had to go and have another look. But anyway, back in the day, it was As You Do, this track. It's been turned into Box of Birds, so we'll do that, we'll come back up. Forgot to fill up with water, which I was supposed to. I tell you, my memory's terrible. And if I need glasses, because I can hardly read the map either. But anyway, I'm just complaining now. The final track says, if I can read it, Corridor, Tokarangi, Turkish Light, Radio Hut, Dodgy Skills Park. I think we may modify that slightly to make it a bit more zesty. But anyway, it'll still be a whole enduro. So, all right, we're on to stage number 5. Back in 2016, Box of Birds didn't exist. There was just a trail called As You Do, which was technically 2-way. That's now the new up trail, and Box of Birds is the down track. Box of Birds is listed as 1.1 kilometers long and 153 meters of descending on trail forks. Now you can see there's been a little bit of felling going on through here, and looks like they're putting in a bridge that will go over the top of another track. So that's exciting development on the way. Also a bit of a feature here, there's a skinny log ride. Looked kind of sketchy to get up onto it, and I decided to leave that for today. Now Box of Birds is listed as a grade 3 track. It does have A and B lines to a lot of the more difficult bits, but certainly if you're taking the A lines, it's more like a grade 4 than a grade 3. But it is certainly an epic piece of track, and with the new, with As You Do, it makes a great little trip down Box of Birds, and then on the e-bike it's great fun going up As You Do. You don't need an e-bike to get back up As You Do, but it's certainly more fun on one. Beep. Whoa, 5 stages down, 1 to go, we're on fire. We've got to do the new track, which is, I think, As You Do is the up track now, and it's a really nice way to get back up, so we'll do that now. Alright, rolling into stage number 6. I've changed this one up a little bit. We're going to do Corridor into Eastern Spice, I think. This is Corridor at the top. Got some nice cool flowy jumps. There's a little bit of a climb here at the beginning session. Of course on the e-bike I just don't care. In fact, I'm hoping that there's going to be a good field of e-bikers and make a bit of a competitive field of it. It's amazing actually that we haven't even done the first race yet, and the whole series is sold out, and I don't think that's ever happened before, so it shows a lot of people are keen to get out there and race. I just hope and pray that COVID doesn't mess it up and that we get to do some racing. So everybody, be good and don't spread COVID, and hopefully we'll get to level 1 and we can all go racing. If you do see me at the race and you're taking part, come up and say hello. I always love to meet people who watch the channel. In fact, I communicate with a lot of you in the comments, but in reality I have absolutely no idea who you are in person, especially as a lot of people have these little funny YouTube code names. Anyway, look forward to seeing you there. Alright, I'm going to call that a success. Managed to do 6 stages that had been done in a previous Enduro, modified the track slightly, but still ended up with the same amount of climbing and descending. Ended up with 2 bars of battery left, still got to get back to the car park, but that's not too far to do that. 500 watt hour battery, I think you could probably still do it. I think you may just have to do all of the climbs in Eco, just to conserve it more. If you enjoyed the video, love it if you subscribe, and I hope to see some of you guys racing soon.